And look at that, we're back in the kitchen with our gorgeous Chef Tumi, and we're getting into the next meal. Now listen, earlier on, we were crying for some protein, and she came in with exactly what we're needing to get into. Up next, we're making grilled lamb chops with mint gremolata. So what is our first, actually no, not even the first step. What is gremolata?
So you know chutney, you know acha.
Yes.
So this is like a condiment, an accompaniment that you have with the dish. And what it does is that it uses fresh herbs. So you get to get this pungent flavor of whatever you use. So gremolata, chimichurri are like different types of sauces or accompaniments that you can put onto something, into something, and it just uses a couple of different herbs and flavors there.
Yum.
So you're going to be making that for us.
Okay,
and
why
this
not?
was actually inspired from my birthday that I celebrated recently, and I was like, okay, if Carissa wants the lamb, we'll bring the protein.
We'll bring the lamb.
Let's do that.
Okay,
so,
gremolata, what am I doing here?
So you've got different herbs. The beautiful thing about gremolata as well is you can add different types of herbs. We've got some mint, we've got some coriander, we've got some parsley. So you can literally just use any of those light herbs.
Wow.
Try not to use the harder herbs like your thyme and your rosemary. Because obviously what's going to happen is that they're not easily chewable in a raw,
I get you.
you know,
Form,
way, in a raw form. Whereas rosemary and thyme work as a marinade or as a rub, which is what I'm using the rosemary for on this end.
Okay, I'm learning things today. So we're going in with some olive oil and lemon and then just hoing it all together.
In essence, yeah, that's what you're doing. And if you didn't want to use some lemon perhaps as your acidity, you could always use a vinegar, rice wine vinegar, balsamic vinegar, depending on which type of acidity you'd like in your dish. And so in my case, I'll be doing a quick rub marinade on our lamb chops. So I'm going to go in with some oil. And then, I loved people to be creative. The kitchen is a beautiful place to just use your imagination, your creativity. So take flavors that work best for you. But this one over here is something that's classic. Lamb and rosemary are just friends forever, you know.
Besties for life.
Besties for life. So try your best to make sure just to, you know, be as extravagant as you want with the flavor profiles, but also just make sure when you find something that you like, try it a couple of different ways, different flavors. And then, and then you'll figure out whether you like it a little sweeter. Some people add some sugar just to get a bit more caramelization.
To the lamb, okay. I've never done that before.
Yeah, try new things. It's exciting. The kitchen is a fun place. It shouldn't be as intimidating as it is for most people.
You know what? I was very intimidated by it because I grew up with the aunties throwing it down in the kitchen. And I'm yet to make like a really good stew bready. But for now, I think I've got my basics of what I like to enjoy.
And the basics are all you need. Yeah. Because that gives you a starting point.
Yeah.
All right, and you can see we've got some beautiful lamb chops. Whenever you're cooking a dish like this or a meat like this, I always suggest start by rendering the fat first.
Okay.
That is a beautiful flavor because what it does is it renders the flavor, it renders the fat, making sure that it gets nice and crispy, but it also flavors the rest of the cooking as it goes throughout, you right?
Okay.
So we're going to let those sit there. In fact,
see if I can
she doesn't want to behave.
to help you out there.
It's okay.
Okay.
What I'll then do is normally I'll just make it lean against the other one.
Nice.
And then once we're done with that, we just flip it over.
When she said creativity, she meant it, Chef Tumi. That's amazing. Don't be disappointed in me because I know how proud you are of me already. But can we put this in an air fryer, yes or no?
Look, air fryers make life easier for people, and if that's what you want or that's what you need at the time, by all means go ahead, because that air circulation will actually still get them crispy. So all we're looking for is the crispy little fat there, but then we want our
inside to be nice and juicy. So nothing worse than a dry lamb.
Of course,
wow.
you know. So what we're going to do here is just let it cook on either side after we've rendered the fat to our liking.
Yeah.
Just about 5 minutes on either side, also depending on how you like your meat.
So that's what I was going to ask. So can you have your lamb like meat, like you would your steak, like the medium, the well done?
Definitely. I always suggest medium and less, nothing over medium because it tends to be a little bit chewy. But the thing about lamb is, if you let it rest, it'll still be nice and soft, even if you cook it well done.
Oh, some good tips coming through. Tell me, how is my gremolata? Might be a little dry. Maybe it needs more oil.
So this is where it's a choice situation. Okay. Some people were like, I still want the chunkiness of it and still like flaky. But I would, you can add some oil to that. You can add more of the acidity if you'd like. If you want it to be slightly more runny, if you want it to hold together a bit more, add more of the oil instead, you know?
Lovely.
And this is the perfect time when we can flip our babies over.
Look at that. Wow. And what are we looking for? For just to get some marks on it, some browning?
Some browning on the side. Yes. And then some people, because they might prefer time situation, you want to go quick. put it on a high heat on the stove, and then
just go
into
for
the
it.
oven to cook for the remainder of the time. We've got soft, succulent lamb chops.
Voila, there you have it. Chef Tumi has come through with the most delicious smelling. My stomach's like, grrr, are we gonna get fed or not? We wanna try some of this. Is the QR code on your screen right now. We'll take you to this recipe. Do you wanna try it? Is it a bit early for lamb chops?
Never too early.
Never. All right, let's get into it. We'll try the finished dish as that one cooks away. Protein is always a good idea. I'll give you these ones.
Protein is good for you because it builds muscle.
Oh, you heard that. My biceps are growing as we're talking. The Gremolata. All right, let's see what it's giving. Oh.
This is honestly the best way to start a day, guys. First meal of the day. Lamb chops.
Mmm. Ooh.
No TV bites today.
No, zero. The freshness of the Gremolata with the richness of the meat. Mmm. That's it. I was just looking for Oh my gosh, Graham, I'm sorry. There's going to be none left for you. We'll keep you some of the Gremolata. Is that okay?